Hello there and welcome back to game number 2 of this best of 5 to decide which one of these two teams will be allowed to participate in TI3, the International 3, the event of the year. Quantic and Rattlesnake is do it or die for them. We are in game 2, Rattlesnake is 1 game up. We're gonna see if Quantic can make it into an even 1 versus 1 score. Of course, with me is my co-caster, Beatus. Welcome back.
Hello.
And welcome back to the Ban of the Tree.
Yes.
Yes.
This pleases me.
Of course,
Smart ban from Rattlesnake.
Yeah, one thing that's important to note also for people that are watching the VOD and it didn't watch what we discussed before the game started.
Wow,
Wisp.
Sorry.
IO. Yes, that's guaranteed for a wow moment. We had Rattlesnake in the first game that was allowed to decide whether they wanted to pick the side or the first pick. They picked the side, they went for Dire, and Quantic in an answer, they picked up first pick. In the second game, Quantic got to decide if they wanted to have first pick or sides, and they picked sides and they picked Dire. Rattlesnake chose to go for second pick. So this is a situation where Quantic is very happy in, I think, especially since they managed to pick up the IO, but considering Rattlesnake banning out the OD and the Treant, I'm kind of expecting them to know that they would be going up against the IO. Although they are taking a lot of time to think about these bans right now. Picks, rather.
Yep. Quantic changed up their ban. Instead of banning out OD with their second ban this time, they took out the Bat Rider because they didn't like the way that they played Bat themselves, maybe, and they didn't want to give it away. And that forced out an OD ban from Rattlesnake because, like we said the first game, both of these teams did their homework. And you're not going to give away an OD to Quantic. They're just too strong with it.
Oh, and there's the IO to Chaos Knight combination. Well,
10 seconds remaining.
That is interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how Rattlesnake will deal with it. I mean, Nyx Assassin, Darkseer combination, pretty strong. They did not have the Darkseer in the previous game. Did have the Nyx Assassin though. They kind of like that apparently.
They picked Nyx twice very early, and he's a hero that since getting nerfed, his mana burn doesn't do nearly as much damage anymore. Plus, this nerf on his third ability, Carapace, happened a bit longer ago. But since those two nerfs hit, he's a lot weaker of a hero, and he's kind of fallen off a bit in the Western scene.
Yeah.
But here's Rattlesnake, and they've picked him their first two games in a row.
Yeah, surprising indeed. I mean, maybe they're afraid that Quantic would ban it out otherwise. I mean, after this game, you can probably, count your marbles that Nyx Assassin will be one of the ban for Quantic if, in the second banning phase if there's no support picked up yet for Rattlesnake. But so far, Quantic, I think they're very happy with their lineup. They've got themselves a Nature's Prophet now as well. And with an IO and a Chaos Knight there, I'm kind of curious to see if Silence is actually going to be the one to play the IO in this game. Since I believe he likes to play that a lot, but we'll see how that runs. We have a Visage ban out with a DK, with the Chen and Razor getting banned out there as well. And Rattlesnake actually managed to pick up the Gyrocopter, a hero that was banned out in the previous game.
10 seconds remaining.
I think it's still going to be a safe lane, but they might want to try to run aggressive up against the IO. Or do you think that this IO Chaos Knight will be in the mid lane?
It's a tri-lane or potential dual lane mid that has a lot of flexibility.
Whoa! That's a hero that I want to see. If you like, back to the pre-game, you asked, I asked myself which hero that I want to see. It's a Tidehunter. There we go.
I would love to see a Darkseer pick up right now from Quantic.
That's not possible.
Sorry, Rubik. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, Rubik's the hero that I want to see from Quantic. Rubik's fallen off a lot lately, and they actually went Coddle K. The reason why Coddle's strong here is Coddle Furion is a strong duo, and Coddle Wisp plus CK is an insanely strong tri-lane. Wisp plus Coddle tri-lanes don't really lose. They're super insanely strong, because Wisp can just tether whoever needs mana, then Wisp gets mana, that player gets mana, a lot of mana at that, and you could just spam off so many spells in that lane. The reason why I wanted to see Rubik is so good against Tidehunter. It's so easy to steal Ravage if you have good positioning, then get off a counter Ravage afterwards with 4-stuff or a Blink Dagger.
Like, Tidehunter buff was, of course, his AoE for the Ravage is increased, or at least for the first 2 levels. Maybe a bit tougher to be out of range of the Ravage while still being in range of stealing, or with the 4-stuff.
Yeah, but when you're on land ping, it's still pretty easy to take it.
Okay. Sorry, people, for by the way, that if I hurt your ears, I wasn't meant to do that. I'm kind of surprised to see the Rubik completely ignored these games, by the way, because I don't think we've seen it banned nor picked up in the previous game either, right?
No.
Oh.
Like I said, he's here that's fallen off because these big teamfight ultimates just aren't being picked up by a lot of teams. But here's an opportunity where there is one in Tidehunter. And he's also getting overlooked because I don't think Quantic's going to pick up a solo mid Rubik here at all.
No. I don't think so either. And I mean, considering Quantic is on the dire side, it's not really ideal to run the IO Chaos Knight there, because of course no creep camp close by for IO to really safe lane farm or safe farm for himself. So yeah, we're still missing a mid laner for Quantic, or at least that would be my expectation, but Rattlesnake does not share that same sentiment, because they ban out the Life Stealer. We still have got all those strong mids in the pool, like the Puck and the Queen of Pain. So we might see one of those two, or actually we might see both, because Rattlesnake also don't have a solo mid just yet. And it is Rattlesnake that now have the first pick in terms of the mid laner. Or do you think they're gonna put the Nyx Assassin mid, because apparently that's what Quantic thinks.
It's an option to put Nyx mid. You know, it's a versatile hero. They could also put Darkseer mid. They could also put Tidehunter mid, although it's highly doubtful. Gyro's another hero that you could technically put mid. So the Rattlesnake's got a lot of options for laning available to them.
Yeah.
You got two heroes that could offlane and Tide and Darkseer. They could just straight jungle the Darkseer. They just have too many options to just talk about. Meanwhile, Quantic's is pretty straightforward. They've got their tri-lane set, they've got their Furehan that's soloing one of the two lanes set, or just potentially straight jungling. They want to play a farm game here.
Well, they're ticking into their bonus time quite heavily. And maybe if they already know what they're going to be playing, then they will have, you know, just deciding how they're going to run their lanes, how Quantic is going to run their lanes. They end up going for a Bane, and this doesn't really solve anything.
That's going to be a support Bane, so that means that either Nyx or Tidehunter is soloing along with the Darkseer.
Yeah, because time will tell that one. Quantic still needing probably a mid laner. Still have Clockwork in the pool also. Maybe they want to have something that's a bit more aggressive. They
definitely want an initiator hero. Puck. I was just about to say that Puck is going to be a hero that they've played a lot. Not super recently because they haven't played anything recently, but around like DreamHack Summer to middle of July when they were still playing, that was a hero that they picked a bunch.
And of course, Puck, with this initiation power, you can instantly silence the Tidehunter, and then there's not going to be a Ravage, and no Ravage means no teamfight, means a useless Tidehunter for Kabu, who's going to play the Tide as a support. And Darcy will be on the off lane, and we're going to have a mid Gyrocopter?
Mid Nyx Assassin. Blue is the hard carry, Lanham is the mid.
True,
Icy's the off lane.
Sorry for cat sounds. So we're waiting for, there we go, that's what we're waiting for. Lanham to pick up his hero.
A lot of people I've seen wonder, like, what are players doing when they spend that extra time and wait to pick their hero? That's when you decide what you're going to be doing before the game starts. Who you're going to be pooling with your supports, where you're going to go, either if, like, for raiding, for example, if they're going to run top to try and contest, they're going to run bottom with their pre-level and movement to try to secure their own pull. And Lanham took like 30 to 40 seconds to decide that amongst his team, and then they went out with their game plan.
And of course, I guess in a couple of teams where the captain is doing like all the captaining in terms of drafting, does it all by himself, that's the point where he says who is doing what, I guess. Calling the shots. I actually don't know how Rattlesnake does that. I know Quantic has got, of course, Goblak, Mastermind Drafter, but we do know that the others are kind of involved as well.
They've got two really, really super smart captain-type players, and Fucking Mad and Goblak. Both of them are really, really intelligent. I'm a little bit surprised to see Icy on this Darkseer running up to top lane instead of just starting in the jungle.
Oh,
and he might actually,
They saw him, but Icy saw them in time, I guess. And they actually only picked up Iron Shell, so that would put him in a lot of trouble with no Surge.
Yeah, Goblak was sitting in a really weird position there.
Yeah, let's go over who's playing what actually, because Goblak is indeed playing that Keeper of the Light. with Silent now with the double damage rune on the IO. So indeed, it's actually one of his signature heroes. Used to be one of his signature heroes, and he still plays it for Quantic, even though he's normally considered the hard carry, but not when there's an IO in the game. We've got Shoxcat playing the Chaos Knight. In the mid lane we have Funzy, of course, he is on the puck for this game, and we have fucking Mad playing the Nature's Prophet on the bottom lane.
It looks like fucking Mad's gonna be staying bottom for a little bit, blocking this pull continuously, and just screwing with the supports. This gets the supports so underleveled that it's really easy to roam on them. Their own supports. For Rattlesnake, they've got Luo, their Kazdan, and Drafter playing this Gyrocopter on the bottom lane. Lanham is going to be playing the solo mid Nyx Assassin. The two supports on bottom lane for Luo are Kabu on the Tidehunter and Sagheart M on the Bane. And Icy did transition to the jungle. He only left one Iron Shell on top lane as a Darkseer before coming down here to get his own farming levels.
Yeah, and that means that the two supports of Quantic have got like free reign here in this jungle with pulling and stacking at their leisure, and with fucking Matt still sitting at bottom here trying to, as you said, disrupt the supports. That's gonna put Quantic a little bit ahead. However, it's gonna put fucking Matt, of course, a bit behind, but he is a Nature's Prophet, Hand of Midas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Furin is a hero that can catch up really easy. If your supports have a bad early game, they have so much trouble catching up. That support's game and how well it's gonna go is decided large in part in the first 10 minutes of the game, especially for the 5. If you get off to a really bad start and you're not allowed to pull, you're not allowed to get any experience or gold, you're struggling all game long, and that can give a lot more opportunities to your team, especially when you have heroes that snowball so hard, like CK Wisp, snowball combo. Puck is a hero that can definitely get Blink Dagger up and then feed off of some squishy supports, and Furin also with the global gank ability coming out of his TP whenever he, gets some levels.
Yeah, I do like the Nyx Assassin mid. Though, I mean, that's also one of those heroes in the mid game that can make a lot of things happen. So that's kind of the thing that Rattlesnake is building on to be doing really well. Of course, Gyrocopter is going to be there too. I mean, if there's going to be a relocate, there's always going to be a call down and a rocket barrage, and it hurts. It hurts a ton. He's actually specking up his flak cannon and using it, so pushing
First
a
blood
little bit.
mid.
Oh, that's going to be first blood mid indeed. Only saw the end of it. A real rotation coming up from Kabu. Gush there as well. And a puck going down with the mana burn helping out from Lanham. That's not something that you see every day.
Puck was sitting on about 150 mana, then he got mana burn, and all of a sudden, oh no, I can't use Illusory Orb, and then he just goes down to right clicks.
Normally pucks are the hardest ones to gank, but Rattlesnake making it look easy.
Yep, that's just a byproduct of Nyx mid. He's easy to gank for because he can make a puck out of mana pretty easy, especially since Funzy's been using Illusory Orb so often for CS and harass. He's got mana problems in this lane against mana burn.
Yeah, still getting the levels, of course, still getting the last hits also. He's actually a little bit ahead in terms of last hits, but losing his first blood is it's kind of painful. On the bright side, I actually can consider it a sad side as well. I mean, Lanham did not get the first blood money. It was Tidehunter that actually got that, so he got himself boots, upgraded courier and all that jazz. And all of a sudden he's no longer a very sad support that can't pull or stack.
If you look at the supports levels, the two supports from Rattlesnake are caught up and are basically even with Godblack and Silent coming out from Quantic because of that first blood and the Furin rotating away. But getting that kill was so huge for Rattlesnake and just getting their supports quick level 6, because both of their supports are going to be fairly useless in fights pre-6 but extremely valuable post-6.
Look at the positioning for Sagam.
Yep, he's waiting for Furion to come to try and defend this tower.
And then that's gonna be one sad Furion. One nightmare to set it all up. Nature's Prophet still hanging out in jungle. He has got a teleport up if he really wants to.
But he doesn't have mana for TP plus Treants just yet. He is TPing low.
Yeah, he will have it in a moment, but has it now. In the meantime, we have Sagam still trying to find a way to oh, he might be in some trouble himself though, because Godblack is around there. And actually, look at this! The Treants trying to scout out. They know that he is around there somewhere. Illuminate will get set up for the tower plays. Tower is already dead though. Illuminate actually missed, and that's gonna be Rattlesnake backing off, or at least They got the tower, that's nice enough. They didn't get a kill in the end, but getting the tower 5 minutes in is still pretty nice.
Getting early towers against CK Wisp is always nice, because CK Wisp is it's gonna be able to shut you down, shut down your split push really hard. So if you can get early map control against that, it's really helpful.
We actually have that IO still sitting at level 3. So he's a sad IO. We have got Bane still level 3 also tied as well, but I mean you really want to have that IO at level 6 when your Chaos Knight reaches level 8-ish. So that you have got your level 4s of your Chaos Ball and Reality Rift at least. And at this point Lanham is level 6. So he is actually in a position where he can kill off that IO very easily and make his life a living hell.
But he's also picking up Arcane Boots already. Again, he's gotten really good farm in mid lane, a lot of that partially due to the tower, partially due to the First Blood.
Yeah. We see that back in the net worth as well. I mean, he is second highest on net worth, and the highest is actually his teammate. Oh, Hastrun and Vendetta. Top he goes. Let's see if he can find that IO. Should be able to, actually. Shouldn't be that hard, even though Silent is being pretty safe because he knows that there's someone missing from the map. And it's enough to, just hiding is enough for Lanham to kind of almost wasting his Vendetta. Yep, Vendetta runs out. Fucking mad, doesn't have a Sprout to save himself, but has got the TP and will be fine. That Impale's not gonna do anything, and Lanham wasting quite a bit of time there.
Yep. There was word that's still up, by the way, for another minute and 15 seconds. It was placed 2 minutes into the game, but that ward just let them know for sure that hey, he's coming. Yeah. They saw the haste string get picked up, and it was super obvious to sit at their tower to dodge that gank.
In the meantime, Luo is doing very well on the farm. I mean, like I said, he's highest on net worth. He's got 46 last hits, 47 right now. Of course, we can compare him to Shoxka in a way, who's also very high up on there, 46 for him now as well, and maybe a couple of last hits behind. Of course, the main difference would be that Shoxka can be active a little bit more early than the Gyrocopter can be, but that greatly depends on the IO, who's now level 4.
And it also depends on Gyro's not only skill build, but also item build. This game, he only has 1 point into Rocket Barrage, which I'm kind of okay with, because that means he's going to get... Or it depends what he does with his next couple levels.
Oh.
He might go full into stats.
That's a lot of harassment, I'm fucking mad. But, yeah. Sets from here on out?
It looks like he might. He's working towards the drum, so he just wants to tank up through this early game. He might also get an Aquila. Oh,
Dreamcoil Lanham came in from behind, looked for fucking mad. Can get him though with the Impale and takes 2 with him. Second coming in to take the last hit of the Keeper of Light. He gets Reality Rift. There will be a stun as well. And that will be a 2-for-2 trade in the end. Actually a favorable trade for Quantic because they did take down a solo mid and only lost a support, and their offlane, I can't really count their offlane as a real offlaner just yet. I mean, he is not having his Hand of Midas yet. He is not yet started with his catch-up streak. So not that big of a loss. And catching out the Nyx Assassin, pretty nice.
If you look at their Wisp, he didn't port into that fight, he stayed top. And right now he's getting experience towards level 6. So by 10 minutes he should definitely be level 6. And they also have a stack that they could kill to also try and get that done a little bit quicker. If Goblet can get up there, of course. But that's looking really, really good for Quantic. To be able to get that 6, start taking fights, start forcing a little bit of a ball up to happen from Rattlesnake. Yeah, Rattlesnake has a lot of that isn't afraid to go up.
Brilliant tether coming off here, Lanham. Getting tether stunned there as well. That was a nice surge Vendetta there, but that didn't work out at all. Brilliant sentry ward also, scouting that out. Again, the ward from Quantic. Nice location.
Yep.
Silence still not level 6 because of that though. He had to share the rest of the experience.
Dire's bottom tower is under
It's true, that's letting Gyrocopter sit comfortably on bottom lane and pressure this tier 2 a bit. He's already gotten about 600 damage on that tower, which is really nice. Just start chipping away, so the push when it comes in later, just easier to execute. Puck has had a pretty slow start this game. He's got 45 CS with a 1-1-1 score. So he's got all of his early game items up. Now he just needs to work towards the blink.
Pretty far behind him. By the way, Rattlesnake, they've got a Ravage and they're looking to use it. They smoke up behind Luo. Kabu's still showing himself. We do have IO almost level 6, so they are also expecting that relocate maybe to try and catch out Luo.
But with Tidehunter showing himself in lane, because he was 100% seen there.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know if they're gonna try to whisk TP onto this.
Vendetta being used, fucking mad. Will get called out. Oh, he rocks out of range in time. Nice illuminate still going, and now they're going. That's already gonna be one down. Ravage still comes though. Shocks are taking a lot of damage there. Nightmare put up on silent. Flak cannon helping, but that's a 4-second stun up on Luo, and that's not helping at all. And that's gonna put Luo down. Quantic getting 2 kills out of this already. Ravage for Rattlesnake use. That was their massive team fight combination. And they didn't end up getting any kills out of it. And Funzy might actually get a kill here still up on Kabu, who tries to TP himself out. There's nothing, never mind, there is something that Funzy can do. That's gonna be a nice kill for him. 3-0. And that was their first relocate.
Yeah, the big thing there is the amount of spells that were completely wasted at the start of that fight by Rattlesnake. They wasted the call up as Ice is getting caught on top lane.
Caught that.
Nice TPM from Slashka. There was also support with the tether coming in. And anyway, they wasted the call down, the Impale whiffed, because Lanham was second guessing himself. He didn't commit to the kill on Furion. Instead, he stutter stepped, then missed it. Then that caused the call down to miss. Then there wasn't enough damage follow up on the Ravage, so they weren't able to kill anyone off. They tried to focus the tankier of the two, the CK. They would have gone on the Wisp, sure, they would have killed him, but that's just the Wisp. I guess that's better than nothing, which they got.
Yeah, at least they get the Shrux out of this rotation though. Funzy coming in with an Invis rune though. And that might be a trouble for Kabu right here. Let's see if he can take him. There's a lot of backup coming in for Kabu though. And that's kind of scary for Funzy. He needs to have his own backup. We do have Keeper of Light making his way over here, but that's the only one. Invis rune almost running out. Funzy needs a place to hide. Finds it. Here comes the orb. Yeah. Not gonna go
He
there.
doesn't want to overextend. He knows there's a lot of heroes there, so I'll just make them back up and then go farm. And they do get the tower tonight, which is really nice for Quantic. Anytime you can deny gold from your enemies, it's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, we've got a smoke up, by the way. Rattlesnake making their way over to the Dire jungle, or at least seeing if there's someone to defend the tier 1 mid. Maybe rotating in to find fucking Matt, who has got his hand of Midas. It's on cooldown, so even if he dies, not that big of a loss. He will end up going down. Vendetta, Impale, Rocket Barrage, I mean, there's really no question about if he's gonna die or not. However, Relocate comes in. It is Quantic that want to take the fight. Drinkquill only hits upon once by Carapace. Nicely done by Lanham. In comes the Fiend's Grip. Lua will be the one to go down. Here comes the Ravage as well from Kabu. They want to take down Silent. They do end up getting him. But losing a Gyrocopter and now also the Tidehunter, not worth it. Sagam stuck on the high ground. Icy getting a 4-second stun. Puck still around. The Shuxka thinking about going back in. And that's going to be Rattlesnake. 3 left here. Nature's Prophet ultimate bouncing through. In comes the Reality Rift. Icy, 4-second stun. And in the meantime, Sagam still sitting high ground without any mana, without a TP scroll. He is so sad right now. That's going to be Nyx Assassin dead. Fucking mad, and Funzy ending up clearing house. And that is 4 heroes dead, and the only one that didn't die is stuck. How did he get there?
He got stuck by the Coddle blinding light.
Let's just take him down, Funzy says. There is a Nightmare. He could try to... No, never mind. He can't try to deny himself. That's a team wipe.
There's some big item progression coming out for Quantic after that fight.
Yeah.
Look at the graphs, everything just got skewed into their favor. The gold actually evened up a bit.
Yeah, of course, towers.
Favor.
Yeah, the towers were very far in Rattlesnake's favor.
If we look at item progression, Icy's playing the Darkseers going straight towards the mech. He's still 200 gold away. He also has pretty poor levels considering how much time he spent in the jungle. It's only level 8 right now. There's a Blink Dagger picked up on Puck. Chaos Knight is working towards BKB, and he's about 700 gold away right now. So he's gonna have that really soon, which is super good against dealing with Ravage. Then this Furion from fucking Mad is picking up a mecha actually, and he's working towards. He's about 1100 away.
Yeah, and he's actually on par again with the Darkseer. So I mean, he was of course behind greatly, but I mean, you already said Darkseer was a little bit behind compared to what you maybe expect him to be at, but now. Yep. Quantic making sure it's even again there. And of course, fucking Matt, with his Hand of Midas, he will be getting ahead of the Darkseer, guaranteed. We actually have a smoke off on the top lane. They walk right past the sentry ward though, if the vision was there, if someone looked there, which they didn't, but in the end no kills being done. There is a relocate up again, but Rattlesnake being very aware of that, so they're staying safe, out of vision. Actually, lack of wards.
This invis on Funzy. Could be huge. Lua just used his ult on a neutral stack, so that's gonna be on cooldown for a little bit. I think that there might be a relocate on top of this when Funzy finds a hero.
Yeah, that's one.
She just did.
We also have got Nature's Prophet hanging around there. Vendetta being used. Fucking Matt tries to get himself out, gets impaled. And that's gonna be one dead already. And I don't think that right now, unless they want to buy back the Nature's Prophet, I don't think Quantic want to go in now. Funzy blinks himself away also. Nice kill for Rattlesnake though.
When Funzy saw Bane plus Gyrocopter, I thought he might jump the gun, but instead he was patient. Saw the Titan on 2 and he was like, okay guys, we're not gonna go now. There's too much here, we don't have our BKB up yet on CK. We're just gonna die if we go in. They end up losing the Nature's Prophet, but that's not as bad as losing your CK.
True. They do have the Nature's Prophet down with his Hand of Midas off cooldown though, which might be a bit of a bigger deal. And he instantly TPs in to use it. There we go.
That's a nuisance, but it's not the end of the world to have your Midas be on or be off cooldown when you're dead.
That's a BKB ready up on Shokska, so nice items coming out from him. We have a BKB being built up by the Gyro as well, but he is still fairly far off. Of course, he went for phase boots and the bracer as well. In terms of net worth, he is actually fairly even compared to Shokska. We'll see what fucking Matt goes after his mechanism, because I wasn't actually expecting him to get the mechanism. I was expecting that to go to way of Goblak, considering, I mean, Keeper of Light normally get a fairly decent amount of farm to get that item up.
Sometimes. This game he's playing a 5 Keeper of Light instead of a 4 Keeper of Light. So he's the one mainly in charge of warding. Well, they've got a Wisp that's going to be looking to get that in progression. One thing that I find kind of surprising in this game is Lanham's item progression. He had Bottle, Wand, and Arcane Boots extremely early into this game. Now we're 17.5 minutes in, and he's finally getting close to that Blink Dagger.
Yeah, that's pretty painful. He had a very good early game. I mean, we mentioned that, but
yeah,
kind of started slacking behind. Of course, Rattlesnake has been trying to go for team fights. Both of them kind of failed.
Exactly. Both fights fail. Then all of a sudden, the Puck who had a terrible early game is ahead of you.
Yeah. Mechanism now ready up on Quantic, so even if the team fight for Rattlesnake goes a bit more in their favor, we have got that heal up on Quantic, and they were already winning without the mech to begin with. So that's a pretty big deal right there. Of course, I mean, Rattlesnake, they lost both team fights. Both times it was kind of an awkward initiation. I mean, the first time that we saw that was, of course, the cooldown already used before the fight actually went off. That didn't end up doing anything. Rattlesnake, second team fight was kind of awkward as well. They went in blind.
Yeah, they let the Gyrocopter get isolated by the CK Wisp, and then he just got handled. And without him, they don't have that much damage.
So are you expecting Rattlesnake, if they have perfect initiation, and now with the mech up on Quantic, are they gonna win that team fight guaranteed? If their initiation is perfect for them?
There's BKBs, and 10-second BKBs at that on both carriers. There's a blink on both mids. I think this game right now is pretty even, to be honest. The one X factor is gonna be if the Darkseer can get a good vacuum combo off, but he's only got rank 2 vacuum right now. He's only level 8 still on Darkseer, so Icy, who did a great job catching up last game on the Weaver, isn't doing so hot this game on Darkseer despite having a mechanism complete.
Yeah, Roshan being attempted. Looks like Rattlesnake are kinda now aware that this is going on, considering they haven't seen Quantic on the map for a while. Assuming that they were smoking most likely, but they will see Roshan going down. Quantic not gonna get contested for that. That's an Aegis for the Chaos Knight. And a Blink Silence on an Illusion there on the Nyx Assassin. So, Quantic having a bit of an edge now. Rattlesnake, I think they were kind of hesitant to take a team fight to begin with, considering they lost the previous two. Right now, for the next 6 minutes, I'm thinking they're gonna dodge team fights altogether, because that's gonna be quite painful now to be dealing with 2 Chaos Knights.
It's really hard to split push against the CQ Wisp. And then on top of that, there's also Fury and there's also Blink Puck. They don't have heroes that are super elusive that can do that either. The Darkseer is easy enough to track down and kill, despite him having 2 points up in Surge. Bane, obviously not very elusive. Thunder's not very elusive. Gyrocopter, definitely not elusive. The one that they have is Nyx, and he's not really known as a split push type of hero. He is a ganking hero, first and foremost.
And I think that he is looking for a gank also. He has his Blink Dagger finally. Sitting mid with his Vendetta, waiting for Funzy to show himself. Funzy, who is building towards a BKB of his own. Only needs 1k gold. Spike Carapace misses, and that's him showing himself. So that's Funzy. Should be safe. But he's up against 4 heroes. Rattlesnake is sitting with 4 heroes mid right here. They will lose their tier 1 bottom. And they might even lose more if they don't go bottom soon.
Yeah, Rattlesnake in this game looks a little off balance to me. Like they're not quite sure how to play against the Wisp. That's just the vibe I'm getting from them. They're not really committing to anything. They're kind of letting Quantic walk all over them and do whatever they want to do. After losing the first 2 team fights, which, once again, that first team fight they lost was fail spell usage, and the second one was bad positioning, which are 2 mistakes you don't normally see out of Chinese teams that are known for having really good mechanics through their rigorous play schedules. But this game, they're off balance, and I have to attribute that to Wisp and not being too familiar with it still.
Yeah, it's kind of like understandable, but on the other side, like they let the Wisp go through. And, oh, wait a second, re-entered Luo. Why did you do that? 3 seconds stun. Luo might actually be dead before the fight starts. He will end up going down. Nightmare did not save him in the end. Icy comes in, puts up a wall. Will take a lot of damage, but he at least gets a vacuum going. Here comes a Ravage, Kabu. But where is the damage gonna come from, Kabu? What are you gonna do now? 3 seconds stun. Nice Cricket Shell. You can't really control it, but it was nice nonetheless. But
1 by 1.
Yeah, they just, like... This was not due to the IO. This was just walking in 1 by 1. With a very awkward initiation idea.
And again, it's just more mechanical mistakes. Like this is not what you normally see out of Chinese. I'm just
not at all
thrown for a loop by this.
I mean, we saw the previous game where Rattlesnake was very coordinated, and you said it then also. I mean, they just had very good focus fire and all that stuff, initiation coordinations, but this time it's just not all there. And I mean, they let the IO go through, right? I mean, it was their choice.
Yeah.
They knew
banned
that
OG over banning IO.
Yeah.
And the thing that just really has me shocked the most is Quantic's lineup isn't anything special with IO. This is a standard Wisp lineup that any Western team will run.
And an Eastern
Not just
team
Quantic,
even.
Any team. Yeah. Like this is just a super standard Wisp lineup, and Rattlesnake is just so thrown off by this that it's just confusing to me.
Maybe because it's kind of a weird game. Like, I mean, weird game. We are in the wildcard match. Like, this is their chance to make it to the International 3. So it's an odd choice to try out this game, seeing like, hey, let's see how we do up against the Western IO. You don't really do that.
It could also be, I know that Rattlesnake has a bunch of younger players on their team. Maybe they've got some lander problems. This is a huge event.
Lanham, dead. Lanham.
Yep. I heard the IOTP, I didn't see what was going in time though. But he gets dunked on. Yep. See you later.
Yeah, and one thing that I also want to point out, normally if you have a lineup that has IO, you go for, you get a lot of wards up just so you can catch out people and know where they are all the time. But Quantic at this moment does not have any wards up at all. They are very welcoming to the fight. Like, if you want to fight, come. We won't run. We'll fight you.
CK's got a Reaper now, so he's building up towards the heart.
Yep. Got 8k gold in favor of Quantic. I don't think it even has seen this big of a difference in the previous game either. So Quantic looking pretty solid, taking themselves a tier 2 as well. And actually, nah, they won't continue. They have an Aegis for another minute only though.
Yep. And for how off-balance Rattlesnake's look, Quantic has looked extremely strong in capitalizing on all of these mistakes that Rattlesnake has been making, and that's the reason for their lead right now. Quantic is playing a super solid game of Dota here. They're bouncing back from that loss in game 1.
Yeah, in before IO ban in the next games that we'll see. I mean, Rattlesnake
and
themselves...
next for book 3, picked up on fucking Mad, which is not even going to see too much of, but that's a really powerful item. I'm looking to see if Gyrocopter is going to maybe build into a Dominator. not as his next item, but as his third item, to be able to steal that away from the Furion. Because it's super useful to have that melee one for yourselves, because if it does 600 true damage, just blowing someone up. Aegis is about to get reclaimed. There's also Force Staff picked up on Godblock's Keeper of the Light. Some other item progression going on is Darkseer working towards BKB. He's got an Ogre Axe, so I'm assuming it's BKB. It could be Sage building into a Halberd. That is an option. Nothing coming out for Kaibu's Tide. Nothing really coming out for the Bane. He is trying to get a BKB up. He only has an Ogre Axe right now, though, and that's it. That's going to be a while. BKB finished on Funzy's Puck, which is something that you don't really see every day. He's got a 10-second BKB as well as an Ultimate Orb going into the next fight. Sashka, like I said, is working towards a heart. He's only 500 gold away right now.
Ah. Those are the kind of pickups that you would expect to see with the Nyx Assassin. Finds himself a soul. Oh, never mind. Tries to TP out. Finds himself Funzy and comes to relocate Lanham. You just signed your death warrant. Stay away from our captain, they say, and everybody comes in to take care of that one.
Global strat, man.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Like those are the kind of gangs that you want to see if you're, if you're an Nyx Assassin. That's the exact same. That's the exact thing that you want to see. But I mean, he had a blink. He blinked away. He blinked away probably to the wrong side though. If he blinked up the high ground or Roche Pit and TP'd out, would have been a better choice in the end.
But he's not an observer, so he doesn't know where Puck is. So he took a guess, and it was just the wrong way to go.
Yeah. I mean, I just said that there were no words up for Quantic, but yeah, like you said, there's no words up at all at the moment.
If they did have a word up, if you look at where the tier 2 tower was for Rattlesnake on top,
yeah, my bad.
that sentry got rid of a ward that was down there. And he got rid of that word like right after it was placed as well.
Oh, nice.
Rattlesnake is on top of their warding game.
Yeah, they also have one on the bottom lane, I guess. I kind of missed that one on the map.
Their supports have been doing a good job of placing wards from Fog. Meanwhile, Quantic isn't doing so well at that. And then just placing obvious wards in general, they're just getting counted off.
I'm kind of sad because Tidehunter has not been able to have that big of an impact.
Yep, and that's because the first two fights just didn't work out well.
Yeah.
There's certain heroes like Warlock, for example, like a solo mid Warlock. If you pick that type of hero that has a really long cooldown ultimate, you have to have a big impact with his first two ultimates, or that hero's gonna fade off in the game and not really be that crucial at all. Because then the BKB start coming out to counter your long cooldown ultimates.
In terms of levels, this is starting to get quite scary for Rattlesnake. I mean, they're up against a Puck that is level 17, and their highest level is level 14. And actually, they reality drifted in to Lanham, who was able to blink himself out in time. That's nice. And Stroke's actually getting an enfeeble up on him. Nice and annoying. But it doesn't force Quantic away from this just yet. And I guess if this breaks into a fight, we are gonna see some buybacks from Rattlesnake if they have them. And actually, they do have them. 3 of their team have got a buyback ready. In comes the Impale. Ravage getting used there as well. Vacuum into all 4. Can they get someone fucking mad? Will be the one to die. Nice cooldown helping out as well. Shokska though still bashing up on everybody. Nightmare up on Sagam. Will try to deny himself. He brain steps himself back to life. Shokska has not been able to kill off anybody just yet, and he is the one to go down. No more Aegis for him means he dies. They get in the end still the Bane, but they kill off the IO. They kill off the Nature's Prophet and a CK. That's a brilliant win for Rattlesnake. That's the combination, the teamfight combination that we were waiting for from them.
And that was just weird from Quantic. Puck initiated just to harass with a Blink Silence Orb out, but his team followed up and they all just got vacuum ravaged. The BKB came late from Sakshka, and he did live for a very long time because he has a heart, but at the same time he didn't really get too much damage out. He went first on the Bane, Bane slept himself, then he goes onto the Gyrocopter, and Gyrocopter just lives. So
he doesn't have anything against Enfeeble.
They had a Necrobook up, they had Phantasm up. What Chinese teams would do in that position, they'd be disciplined, they'd send all of their summons, including the Phantasm illusions, at the tower, and they just back off. And they'd slowly siege down the lane.
Yeah.
Every time those cooldowns are up. But instead Quantic runs in, they lose a fight 1 minute before Roche spawns. Roche is already up now. So they're just not looking in such a good position anymore. But if they get this Roche for free, that'll definitely help out.
Yeah, this gyrocopter still showing that he has some teeth. We have a butterfly in his inventory now as well. Went all in for that one, so no buyback on him anymore. And I think they are gonna be too late for the Roche for sure. Shoxka picks it up, and they smoke up instantly. Might be looking for a kill here up on Lanham. Let's see if they can. He went invisible with the invis rune straight away. There's no detection up on Quantic, I believe. Like no gem. Not even sentry wards. Quite surprising, but very ballsy. Real or expecting not to need it. And they don't find anybody with that. So that is an initiation from Quantic failed. Are they gonna sit around and wait longer? I don't think that they actually have that luxury, because Lua will at some point be super dangerous if he's not that dangerous already. Like we all know what happens
to go
when
on
Jared's
fucking mad so bad on top. But he just knows that the Wisp CK is gonna come in, so he uses both his spell nukes to harass him, and he just blinks TP's out, so he doesn't actually die for it.
Lucky him. 4 heroes still mid for Quantic. Of course, one of these things that's very nice for Goblak right now is that if need be, like even like their entire team is actually super mobile, and even if someone's not, he can get caught there by Goblak. So, like I was just thinking, like fucking Matt can get called to the mid lane, but he has a TP of his own. We have a relocate there as well. So the only one that is actually concerned about moving is Goblak himself. He just has to stick together with a Wisp and a CK, which he is doing.
I really like what Quantic's doing here. They're like, okay, it's gonna be really hard to take you guys in a straight up 5v5 head-on fight. So what we're gonna look to do is try to stick you in your base and then out-farm you.
So far so good.
They backed out of mid just now, and fucking at the same time backs out of top lane. Because he knows, hey, they're out of mid, I can get ganked now. Smart play coming out from them. And they're just overall out-farming Quantic right now and pushing their advantage.
Yeah, they're farming up the entire Radiant jungle as well, including their own, so all farm of the map going the way of Quantic, and Rattlesnake is only getting what's actually coming into their lane. And I mean, at this point, you kind of like Kabu still building towards a Blink Dagger, or at least he's saving up for it. It's pretty far away from that if you're expecting him to get that gold alone from gold, and he's actually, you know, automatically is getting in, because he's not going to get any kind of farm at this moment. Scythe of Ice ready up on Funzy. That will make a big difference in the next fight as well, especially if he can get that up on the Tidehunter or up on the Gyrocopter before he can hit his BKB.
It just profits also 400 gold away from his own scythe, so big items coming by way of Quantic right now.
Yeah, and with that Aegis now picked up as well, they might just look to push up high ground again once they have that. Before the Aegis runs out. And the Gem of True Sight, there is the
But
detection.
again, despite having the Aegis, I would love to see Quantic just sit back and play this smart. Because Chinese teams, all of them, are so good at defending their base. Just a quick side example. DK against Alliance from G1, the first game of that tournament, where there was a level 1 rush trap from Alliance. They were so massively ahead in that game, but they couldn't crack DK's base for the longest time. Chinese teams are extremely good at base defense. We just saw in the first team fight when Quantic tried to go up the hill. So I want to see them play smart and play disciplined Dota to try to bring home the win here.
Turtle stars. 4-staff now also up on Nyx Assassin, so Lanham went for the 4-staff rather than completing his BKB, just for extra movability. I mean, with the Scythe of Ice is now also complete up on fucking Mad, things are starting to look kind of shaky for Rattlesnake still. I mean, they've got this team fight potential, yes. If they come off high ground, they know what to do. They've got Enfeeble, Fiend's Grip, Impales, they've got massive amounts of shutdown, and also great amounts of team fight. But if those hexes are able to initiate, they're gonna have a tough time. If Quantic gets the proper initiation that they want. All comes down to captaining. Decision making. Captaining even more so. Like the goal difference, I mean, it's in favor of Quantic now, 20k almost. It's insane. Experience graph, same story. And of course it has some merit, some value, but
look at Goblak right now. He's so confident that all of Rattlesnake is stuck in their base that he's just running around solo. Plus he's got everyone else on his team that can TP to him. So, except for the Puck, of course. Which is so confident right now. I just shows the dominant position that Quantic is in.
And look at Icy, I mean, he sees a solo Keeper of the Light, who's actually taking a ton of damage here, by the way. But he runs. Because he realizes, like, oh my god, that's a Keeper of Light. He'll never farm by himself, would he? So he runs. That's kinda crazy. But funny.
And there's also BKB being worked up on the IO. Armlet now finished on CK. It is a late Armlet, but Armlet is still really good on CK. Gives him a lot of damage, some attack speed.
Fits into the colors of the items that he has also. Red on left and right. Well, I guess it's more purple for the armlet. Sorry.
Right.
Yep.
You would look at the color scheme?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's a fortification first out, by the way. That's kind of big.
Good split push from Quantic here. They've
Yeah.
got their 2 mobile heroes on bottom lane, pressuring the tower. They've got the Wisp CK plus Coddle top. So they could fight a 5v5 on top lane if they wanted to, or they could fight a 4v5 on bottom lane because the Coddle's the one here that isn't going to be able to get there. But they're just chipping away 2 towers at once and splitting up Rattlesnake, so Rattlesnake can't have that 5v5 fight that they want.
Yeah, we actually have the CK and the Wisp now going to the mid lane to just get that lane also pushing in, just to get some more leeway there. And that's gonna be the death of Keeper of the Light because of that. I mean, he got left alone. That was kind of obvious at that moment, so they get him out.
They finally made Goblet pay for his
Cockiness.
aggressiveness.
Yeah. I mean, even if the relocate came there, that was a very dead Keeper of the Light, regardless.
Oh yeah, definitely. And he's not gonna relocate there because he doesn't know where the entirety of that team is.
Yeah. And we have got, therefore, Quantic split pushing aborted for now.
Yep. They're still just, look at this gold graph, it's gotta be climbing more and more in their favor. It's at 20,000 right now. XP graph is also a little bit above 20,000. It's like 21.5. So they've got a huge lead. And the items reflect that. They're building up luxury items like Sage is up on Coddle, he's building towards a halberd. Pure luxury item.
CK Wisp are gonna be in some trouble. Here comes Lanham. Blink, Impale, get the IO, and let the CK go. Tethered there to the low ground. Silence. Still got set up by the Spike Carapace. He has a home missile chasing him down as well. They try to run for it. They might be looking to fight. BKB gets turned on. Yeah, they want to fight. 4 seconds on up on Sagam. He'll be the first target. Vacuum up on fucking Matt, though. More BKBs being used there. In comes the Ravage. Silent in a lot of trouble. Has to back himself out of there. Nobody dying just yet but the Bane. Kabu with a 4-second stun will end up going down there as well. And Illuminate flies over the top of everybody. And it is Quantic that is winning this fight. Triple kill for Silent on his IO already. And it is only the CK that he managed to get himself back home safe with a TP scroll. It started out so well for Rattlesnake, but nobody died of Quantic in their like when their burst damage was done and the flak cannon was on cooldown. That was it. Then Quantic came back.
Yep. No, it's just that right there was the goal difference. They chased a Wisp, a support hero, burned a lot of spells, so Akshio recognized, hey, they just used so many spells on my Wisp that I can just go in. And he did. He went on the Bane, so he just steals Fiend's Grip. The one ability that goes through his BKB, and he just went to town.
He gets hexed. Nice Nightmare. Doesn't really help that much,
hex.
though. And that is indeed a kill. Buyback on the Gyro. Tide is back up alive as well as the Bane, who still has his Fiend's Grip. But they'll still see their tier 3 killed up. And Quantic, better safe than sorry. They run. I don't blame them. They got, or actually, do they run? No, they don't. No, they don't. Go for Cabo. Go Scepter there. 3 seconds stun still there. In comes more BKBs for everybody. Fiend's Grip up on Funzy, who will get picked off already. Lanham trying to get himself out of this one. Icy taking a ton of damage. His BKB won't save him now. Cabo still alive. Doesn't have Ravage though, so not that big of a threat. Sagam force staffed into safety. Luo hexed up again. He just bought back. He goes down. No buyback for him. Tidehunter goes down for real this time as well. One more hit. No stick charges. Keep him up. Getting chased down by fucking Matt. Sprout goes up on Sagam instead. And this is Quantic just owning the place. GG gets called out. Buyback galore for Rattlesnake. Not enough to keep them up. And Quantic with a fake back and then just running back in heads first. Get themselves a second game, making it a 1-1 score.
Yep. Quantic decided to take the game a little bit slower after their one initial mess up going for the high ground. They did play a smart game though, and were able to take it home. Rattlesnake just looked off to me this whole game, and to me that signals that they should probably ban Wisp. Because that has to be the one here that they're just not familiar enough with. playing in.
I mean, those two team fights that we saw, we already mentioned it, but yeah, Io kind of helped turn those fights around, so probably gonna see a ban on that hero next time. Of course, this is a best of 5. We're gonna see here which of these two teams will be the team to be joining the other 15 teams in the International 3, the group stages which start tomorrow. Rattlesnake and Quantic Gaming, one of these teams will be joining them, the other one will be a spectator. We're heading ourselves into a third game in this best of 5. Score is even, 1-on-1. And let's see who gets the next game, so stick around, because I don't think you want to miss this. Better yet, you do not want to miss this, I know for sure.